My name is Stephanie Salaya, and I'm here from Oakland University Recreational Wellbeing. Today I'm going to show you how to make some fitness equipment. We've all been doing home workouts, and not being able to run to the store or having things run out of stock has limited our ability to use equipment. So today I want to teach you how to make some fun stuff. If you're like me, you've used equipment you have around the house, water bottles or soup cans. So today I'm going to talk about some other options that we can make with things you have around your home involved. So what you're going to need for today's project is an old ball, a garbage bag, sand. Sand's going to be your most dense and heavy filler. If you don't have sand, you can use uncooked beans or even rice, which I'm going to fill this ball with rice in front of you guys. You're also going to need duct tape, some type of scoop and funnel, an X-Acto knife, and an air pump. So the first thing you want to do once you've selected your ball is you want to make an incision next to the air pump, not on top of the air pump. So let's for a second talk about the alternative if we don't have old balls around. So if you don't have any balls around that you want to use, you can always use an alternative. So the alternative I would recommend would be a backpack. So you want to use something with a handle, especially something that's reinforced so you don't have to worry about the handle ripping off, or something that you're able to hold onto the sides. The easiest thing you can do is find books. So books that are about 5 pounds each, that way you can put the books in or take out in 5 pound increments. I would say 3 books is really all you need, because that way you have a 15-pound piece of equipment right here. Okay, so as you can see, I made a square incision right next to where you inflate the ball. The reason you want to leave this hole intact is because after we fill the ball, we may need to go in and add more air so that the ball doesn't squish, especially if you want your ball to be a little lighter. My basketball is full of sand, and so I believe this is about 15 pounds. I'm going to re-weigh it in a moment with my scale. So the first step is to cut that hole. Once you cut the hole, you're going to thread your garbage bag in. From there, you're going to use your funnel to fill it. I'm going to do it right now with my soccer ball. So as I start to add the rice, one thing I noticed when I was doing the sand is I almost had to keep like lifting up the funnel and making room. So actually, I think the rice might have some issue with this particular funnel. Okay, so it's getting stuck. So I need a wider mouth funnel. So I finally got to 8 pounds with the rice. It took what feels like forever. I definitely had some issue this time around with a funnel, being that it wasn't sand and so easily able to put in. Now I still have a little rice left bubbling in. What I'm going to do is push that all in without making a hole. And then I'm going to tie off the bag. So pushing this all in. I will say, because I used the rice, even though it's lighter, it did take more. So there's really not a lot of space left. Really, I think you can see there's very little space left, but I will fill that with air before I'm done. So twisting off this bag. So I wanted to show you a few useful tips. One of which is how to cut the strips. So I found it easier to cut the strips on opposite angles to wrap around the ball. From there, I went piece by piece, overlapping as I go. And then once the ball's completely wrapped, cutting to circles or almost squares, whatever is easier for you, and putting that on the end of all the strips on each side of the ball, so that it acts like a final barrier to hold that all of it in place, but B, also makes it look a little nicer. Now, what I will say also in my trial and error, the X-Acto knife and the scissors. My scissors got pretty gunky. Not a big deal. I'll clean them, but it definitely was a lot easier to use the X-Acto knife to cut all the pieces. Okay, so final weigh-in. My purple ball, after all is said and done, comes to 15 pounds exactly. My red ball, so my sand versus my rice, is 8.5 pounds. So I like having the variation of the two. Again, if you want, you probably just need one. I like having the two because for me that will give me the right amount of weight for the exercises I usually do with a medicine ball, but it's all relative. If when you go to the classroom and you use a medicine ball, you grab an 8, then you should probably make an 8. It wouldn't make sense to make a 15. Once you have a ball, you can do a nice squat and press.